Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. I guess you can hear me though. Let's see, gonna be back over here. Oh, that makes sense. That better. Can I pause this bitch? Okay. that one. Water. Here. Here.
it back. Come on.
Mic check. Here we go, events. Fucking events. Yes, let's try it. Make sure y'all can hear me. Make sure you can hear me there. About to get started. Mic check. Mic check. Let me see. Oh, I got my. It's probably too late. Uh, see, link. Okay, change. All right. Settings, stream. Let's see. Uh, all right. What up, y'all? I ain't gonna hold you. Hope y'all can hear me loud and clear. Let me get back up to the top. I wish it was another way. Oh, all right. Got about 3 more minutes. One second. All right. Okay, man. What's up? What's up, y'all? What's going on? How y'all doing? Hope everybody having a great Sunday, fun day. Hope everybody enjoying themselves. I know I am. So I decided to come in. Let me get my stuff up here. Alright, alright. Ain't on my nothing. Okay, what's up? What's up? It's 5:30, man. I'm very punctual. I believe in staying on task, staying on time. Told you bring your Kool Aid. Got mine. Unity over division, man. I was hoping some people can jump on in with me, but catch it on the replay. If not, because I ain't trying to hold nobody. But I'm really concerned about this, right? I'm really, really passionate about this. Even though I'm not even from Millersville. I'm not from. I'm not even in Millersville right now, right? And but to see it from a bird's eye view, sometimes you can see things. I'm not gonna say better, but you get a better view sometimes. It's kind of like walking through a spider web. When you in it, you can't. You like, dang, where it at? But a person standing from afar can kind of see, what you're going through. And I got a lot of love for the crib, man. My family there, shit, hell, most all my friends are there. Me and my wife, we just live and work here for the most part. But so it's a lot of ties and a lot of things that are sensitive to myself, and I'm pretty sure others. When it comes down to the crib, man, that's where we got all our roots from. That's where our history from. That's where our loved ones, whether they're alive or unfortunately gone on, that's where they are. And we gotta, I keep a open line of communication there. We daily, whether it's my parents, my kids, friends, whatever, right? Or here on social media, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, or whatever. But I want to talk about it, man, because I've been watching a lot of stuff, and I'm pretty sure a lot of us, a lot of other people have seen it too. You know what I mean? Like there's, and it kind of hurts me every year. You know, whether it be local election, national election, state elections, um, it comes on a bigger divide during the political season. It's one of those things where it's almost like, man, I'd be glad when Thanksgiving get here because everybody's it's like pick a side and stay on it. You know, everybody. I don't know. It seems so funny to me, man, that how we react to a lot of stuff, whether it be social issues, whether it be sports, whether it be political issues or whatever. We end up going to blows with one another, especially within the black community, and it's hurtful for me to see. It's hurtful for me to see society acting in a way because it's not only a black and white thing or Chinese. It's a human race thing. Everybody, when they get us this political season, everybody's on high alert. Everybody's covered. You know, now it's covered. What you say? You know, even in sales, I've been in sales for a long time, and you know, rule number one of sales is don't talk religion or politics. You know, because it could you could kill your deal. You know what I mean? That's just being honest. It can kill the way you make money if you're on the wrong side of the conversation. Right. And it's sad when you get to politics, everything else in life, everything else we can coexist, we can coincide, we can go to work with people from all different graphics of life. We can go to school with people that go to different worship centers on Sunday. We can go, anywhere. We can go to a baseball game amongst all types of people and laugh and joke with people beside it we never knew. And ain't nobody worried about who voted for who. Ain't nobody worried about who praying to who, right? But when we put it on the forefront, when we get from shit, I don't know, when they start putting them campaigns out, they start calling you from late July, early August, all the way through November, the first weekend in November, and then we don't hear from them again to the next political season. And the whole time they have us at each other's throat. And it's sad, man. It really is. And we got to find some common ground amongst each other, man, because at the end of the day, our children go to school with one another. We work alongside one another. We live alongside one another, you know? And we get into these political debates when shit happen or when things hit the fan, ain't nobody, you ain't gonna ask them who you voted for. You know what I mean? If you're in an accident, you're in a situation where you need help from your fellow man or your fellow neighbor, you ain't gonna ask them, you know what I mean, where you go to church at on Sunday, or you're a Christian or you're a Muslim or you're a Buddhist. Like we don't do that when we need it, when it suits our needs. You feel what I'm saying? But when it fits the talking points, when it fits the click of who you roll with, you feel what I'm saying? Whether it be family, friends, or colleagues, or whoever, like you ain't gonna surround. And I see it so much and so often in today's environment, man. It's sickening, man. And these people are pretty much playing puppets. And you think about it, there was even when you think about the building of this nation. And I know there's some disparities. We could talk about all the crazy shit, but I'm talking about the core foundation was built on, hey man, fuck the government. We the people. The Constitution starts with we the people. You know what I mean? People say you can say whatever you want, but we put too much faith in these parties. We put too much faith in these political figures. We put too much faith in everything except for ourselves, and it's more of us than it is of them. But we are so been programmed and taught us to be at each other's throat. We've taught each other to be, you know, on pick this side or pick that side. I made a statement earlier this week talking about how we look at the young cats that's out here gang banging. We look at the young cats that's out here, doing their thing in the street life, causing dysfunction throughout the community. Raising all kind of hell. And we look at them and we read the headlines and we see the shit that they do and be like, why is they doing that? They out there fighting about a piece of land that they don't even own. They out there repping the color. They doing this and they doing that, right? But then come late July, early August to November, we do the same shit as adults, as elders. You got people 70 to 80 years old, from 18 to 80 into politics day in and day out. Watch CNN, Fox, CNBC. They soak it up, get all their talking points so they can be ready when they get on Facebook and get in their agendas. right? And we got to get better at this, man. We got to get better as a people because they get a paid salary off of taxpayer dollars. They get paid. Politicians get tax. They get a salary from taxpayers. They get salary from taxpayers, and then we bicker amongst each other or debate amongst each other. I done seen people say, "I'm done with him." If you voted for Donald Trump, you don't never say nothing to me a day in your life. So people have said it to me when I didn't even vote for Donald Trump. You know what I mean? By the way, right? And it's like that. It's like that. And just because it don't matter though. If you treat me according, you treat me right, you treat me with respect, you treat me with kindness. Who you vote for shouldn't even matter. You know. And things like this, topics like this are very, very important in our community. Super important. But just like most things that are important in our community, when it's time to goddamn, be a part of them or make a difference, don't nobody want to be, don't nobody want to show up. Everybody want to sit back and point fingers, and we can talk, and because dialogues are important, and that's what's wrong. That I think that's one of our biggest problems, man. And the reason for this call tonight, or the reason for this live, man, was to bring my purpose. I did a whole outline. Y'all know I kind of got off task, but because I'm real passionate about it, man. It boils me. It really grinds my gears, man. When I see people, you know, we just do each other any kind of way, man. We don't treat each other fairly. We don't give each other a fair shake. Sometimes we don't even want to hear each other out, even if we polar opposites of each other, right? That's real, growth. That's real emotional intelligence, and we're gonna talk about some of this. So the purpose of this live today was to bring the community leaders, creative citizens, to have an open, emotional, intelligent discussion about unity, civic responsibilities, and overcoming political divisions, especially with early voting starting as next early as tomorrow. Now, Millersville has got a mayor race. They got early voting tomorrow. Man, hey, if you live in the city of Millersville and you have and you're able to, able-bodied citizen to get out there and vote, man, go vote. All right, go vote. I definitely, you definitely need to get out there and vote, especially in your local elections. And just like now, if I was talking about Trump and Kamala Harris, people be ready. People be all up. They wouldn't care if it was Sunday and football was on because they get amped up about the presidential election. But when you're talking about local election, people they don't really want to. They don't want to get too much involved, which that's is the most important part of the election that you have, right? So I want to thank everybody for everybody joining in, everybody for commenting, everybody for sharing this live, everybody for watching it on the replay because in this day and age, in this time, man, it's time for all. We got enough going on. People are losing their life. People are leaving here each and every day. Time is precious. Life is precious. And when you waste your time or you spend your time debating about things that have no immediate effect on you, it's pointless. And I pray for healing. I pray for camaraderie amongst the city of Millersville and for the whole world, man, for that matter, because it's enough crazy shit going on that we don't have to put gas on the fire. We don't have to add to the bullshit. There's enough people out here, going back and forth, causing hurt, harm, and danger to each other. Talking down to one another. Being that bad vibe, negative energy towards other people. We don't need it when it comes down to politics. And just like this, the name of this live is, close your curtain, cash your ballot, love thy neighbor. How hard is that to do? How hard is that to just say, all right, I'm gonna vote for who I'm gonna vote for. All right, I'm gonna go in because that's why the ballot box got curtains, people. That because you got privacy. Go in there, expectation, you got privacy. Go in there. That's why no phones are allowed in the ballot box. Right? So that's why it's very important for you to go in there, cast your ballot. If you want to campaign, you want to promote people, cool. But this is not a time to be at odds with one another. You know, I have very different views from a lot of people within my family. I have very different views from my wife, you know. But does that mean me and my wife gonna get a divorce because I don't like a certain thing and she do, or she like a certain thing and I don't? Or am I gonna write my mama off or not talk to my dad no more because he voted for Joe Biden and I ain't, you know what I mean, and I ain't got a dog in the fight? Or maybe because I have some, I would say more conservative viewpoint when it comes down to situations, right? Should I write? Should I say they ain't my mama no more? They ain't my friend. They ain't my neighbor. They ain't my like. And I see it, man. And it's very important that we got to understand that we still have to work alongside one another. We still gotta live on alongside one another. Our kids gotta be like, why are we at odds about a position or political position when we got the right to go vote? And even if you like me, I can't even vote in the Millersville election, right? But I voted many years in the city of Millersville. I bought my first houses in all my houses in the city of Millersville. And I got a lot of historical heritage tied to Millersville because that's my home. That's where all my people at. That's where all my family at. That's where most of my people on this live is from. They from Millersville, just like me, and we're passionate about it. But when I see us bickering about situations that we got bigger fish to fry, Millersville got like 18 unsolved murders. Millersville has a lot of mysterious deaths going on. You know what I mean? Like I said, we got bigger problems. We got bigger problems than and then not to shoot. Now, shout out to Mayor Copeland. Mayor Copeland was my neighbor for many years. Me and Mayor Copeland, we worked together for many years. I sold Mary Copeland her house, the one she lives in now. Right? We were good friends, and I hope she get reelected. Right? But we all know the games that are played in Millersville when it comes down to so-called equality. And I ain't got to run down that rabbit hole because if you from Millersville and you live there, you've been there long enough, you know what I'm talking about. I ain't got to speak on it. But I'm talking about the division that things cause that we already got to know. Okay, I'm thinking it's only about 17,000 people in the city of Millersville, 40,000 total in the whole county. And people I just don't get it, man. I just don't understand how we can't coexist. If you can go to work and you can work alongside a person who's probably a person on the opposite side of the vote now as you, then why can't you be alongside a person that disagrees with you when it's talking about politics, that looks like you? Most people you work with that don't look like you, they probably, I guarantee you, they don't vote like you. But you deal with them. You kick the bobo with them and you take your ass home. But when it's time for the task at hand at work, y'all make it happen. You know what I mean? You agree to disagree to get the job done and going on about your business. I ain't say you gotta kiss them and love them and go out and have drinks and do all that. And that's how you play it. At work is if it's somebody that you don't really deal with. Some people you already know they on some snake shit. But you ain't gonna be ready to go to blows with a person because of that. You ain't finna go out there and risk your whole, livelihood, because you and your person don't get along. You're gonna pull out that long handle spoon, what we've always learned to do. But for some reason, when it comes down to politics, boy, it's like calling somebody mama out their name. It's like, man, ultimately, man, I have seen so much from both sides. I have seen where people, as far especially in our community, who are liberals, they get, oh, you cool and you buck dancing, you doing all this, you doing that, and same thing. People who more conservative in the black community, oh, y'all stupid, you need to get off the plantation, and it comes from, and okay, all right, what are we accomplishing, right? What are we accomplishing, right? And I want to go down the timeline when you're talking about the history of Millersville and when you're talking about how we in the situation that we in now, right? Floyd Griffin was the first black mayor of Millersville in 2001. I bought my first house in Millersville in 2001 in the city of Millersville. So I was a part of the election, helping mayor. I did my civic duty. I think if I'm not mistaken, I want to say Floyd Griffin won by a slim margin. On my less than 5 votes. He won by a very slim margin to be the first black mayor. And I want to say Mayor Ball was the original mayor of Millersville. Well, not the original, but he was the one preceding him, if I'm not mistaken. Um, and I would say his first term, his first year in office, he had traditional mayor power. He had traditional mayor power where he could veto bills and all, kind of like presidential power. The same thing, the city council or like Congress and the Senate vote on stuff, and they bring it to the president, whether he gonna sign it or he gonna veto it. The mayor pretty much had that same type of power when it came down to how the format of the governmental structure in the city of Millersville. A year and a half into his term, some people felt like he shouldn't have had that power. Some people felt like, and you know how it is, being the first black mayor in the city of Millersville. Hey man, this is man, it was astronomical news back in 2001. It was crazy. right? And it was a lot of talk within the community. Floyd Griffin got beside himself. He don't speak to nobody. He walked past you, he don't even speak. And I was there. I heard it. And people try to act like, they give Floyd his praise now. And they give Floyd his, hey, as he should get him. But when he was the mayor of Millersville, a lot of people in the black community, they did not like it. For what reason? I don't know. I was 21 in 2001, 21, 22, trying, just starting life. But it was a lot of things I didn't understand. And then lo and behold, year and a half into his term, all of a sudden they want to change the charter into the Millersville city government. They want to change the mayoral charter from the traditional mayor powers to a city manager. And mind you, who do you think drafted that resolution? Quiz anybody. I got a poll out there in my Facebook Live, man. Make sure y'all go tap into that poll. It should be up there somewhere. It's got a question in there. I want y'all to make sure y'all get that. Make sure y'all share the live, man. Like the live, comment, interact, send it out there, man. Everything. YouTube do the same thing, man. Send the live out, tap the live, share the live. So when Mayor Griffin came into office his first year and a half, who do you think drafted the resolution in order to, change the mayoral power? Who do you think drafted it? From my sources, God resident Richard Mullins and Miss Denise Shinholster are the one that brought up the resolution to get Floyd Griffin's power stripped from him. But they saying, now with all this stuff going on, the division about something that the division about something, and eventually it came to pass. They brought the resolution, they passed it, and they voted it, and they stripped the city of Millersville mayor is pretty much a ceremonial position. They sit there, they hit the gavel to start the meeting, and they sit there and watch and hope that they come up into a tie vote where they can do something. And again, no disrespect to the mayor, but this is the format that they're under, and this is the cold hard facts, right? This is what they're under. The mayor of Millersville really has no power. They go take pictures, they go do ceremonies, they do this and that, and that's been since 2001. This just didn't start. This was in 2001. It's been 20, 25, 24, 25 years that this been in place, right? 24, 25 years that this has been in place. So this ain't something that just happened. And even after Mayor Griffin came out of office, Anderson Bentley came in there and he had the same format. And don't get me started on Anderson Bentley. Don't get me started on that. But again, I was living in Millersville this whole time, right? But they stripped Mayor Griffin of his powers. And people and a lot of times we want to point fingers, and I get it. I'm not naive to the fact of the situations a lot of times when it comes down to racial inequalities in Millersville. And some of the stuff that Mayor Copeland said in her first video, which they slammed her for it. They slammed her for it. She was talking about nigger street and all that. Y'all seen the video. They slammed her for it. You know what I mean? Because when you're in a situation, when you're in positions like she is, you can't certain stuff you just can't say. You know what I mean? That's somebody else probably should have said that on the team. And they crushed her for it. And that I think that was started all this. You know what I mean? Because unfortunately, people don't like to hear the truth. And on that video that I seen, that I think I seen Baldwin Bulletin reshared it. Baldwin Bulletin Facebook page. They reshared the video when Honorable Mayor Copeland was speaking about real stuff. She wasn't lying, but people don't like the truth. They don't like the harsh truth, the harsh reality of what really is going on in Millersville. But when you the mayor of Millersville, you can't say those things because they read it. I guarantee you, Miss Copeland, Mayor Copeland, I guarantee you, wish if she could go back and rewind hands of time, she wish she hadn't said those words, even though they were true. And I agree 100% what she said. Millersville is one of the reasons why I'm not there. You know what I mean? And that's a whole nother video. But I want to talk about how we can build within the black community because we don't seem to understand. We don't understand that we fall for the banana and the tailpipe every time. We got bigger disparities, we got bigger problems to fix versus trying to vote on a go back and forth about whoever in the community, right? Whoever in the community. But again, let me stay back on topic. Again, they stripped Mayor Griffin of his powers. Spearheaded, from my sources that I talked to, from my sources, Richard Mullins, God bless the dead, rest in peace, Richard, great man, great man. Don't get it twisted. I got him and my father. They all from the north side. They good. I know him very well. Raised some amazing kids. I ain't anybody seen this. I forget his son name. great. But anyway, and Miss Shinholster. And I remember back then because they used to have the it used to be Channel 4, and you could watch the city council meetings. And man, they used to give man, they gave Floyd Griffin straight hell down there. And you could, if you ask Floyd Griffin, ask him the triumphs he went through as when he was mayor of Millersville. He caught hell, man. And was it merited? You know, people say he got beside and said he want to speak to people, this and that. You know, they said, but mind you, Mr. Griffin been damn near career politician. He been a senator. He was a senator before he was the mayor. You feel what I'm saying? He back in politics now. He just won. I forget. He just won. He just won another seat. So he's always been a politician. But it seemed like when he got the head seat in military, he had the full power. We got somebody in there that probably compute. And all of us has dealt with Mr. Griffin dealing with Slater Funeral Home at some point. You know, I mean, we know him. He's a prominent figure in the community. And when he got the position, it was like they treated him like he was shit. And that's the truth. I remember it. And they stripped the power from the mayor then. But then now they were saying, now we fast forward to today's time. We're going through something that now the mayor hasn't had power in 24 years. Anderson Bennett went through some stuff, man. That man embezzled all kind of money, got a slap on the wrist. Ain't nobody talking about that though. They ain't talking about how Anderson Bennett did. They talking about he got brain cancer. He may very well do. I hope the man all right. But if it had been Floyd Griffin got them charges that they gave him, boy, woo, woo, they'll still be talking about that right now. You feel what I'm saying? But they slid, and I remember reading the article. They slid him in the back door and took him out. They wrote that in there. You go find the article. It's and I read it. They said to avoid the media friends, they took him out the back door. Yeah, Anderson Bennett, the one that came after Floyd Griffin. I don't know. I think he embezzled money. He did some crooked shit. He should have went to chain gang. And I think he still, if I'm not mistaken, he's still alive and well. But they said he had brain cancer and they ain't do none of that. All right. But guess what? He didn't have no real authority neither. Ceremonial position. Right. And this is my humble opinion. This is my theory. What I think happened. I think they felt sorry, and then okay, all right, and they shifted the focus from the indictment and the conviction of Anderson Bentley, and they appeased the community by letting the first black woman be mayor. I'm a conspiracy theory. You know, I push the envelope for those those who don't know. Now, I'm not saying Mayor Copeland doesn't deserve the job, but I just know how the game play in Milledgeville. I'm just being 100% honest, right? And now, so then in the last, and I think she's been in mayor. This is her second term, if I'm not mistaken, right? And it's maybe even longer than that. She's like, yeah, second. She's going for her third term. Like she at this point, she even said herself, the mayor's her hands are tied. There's really nothing she could do besides try to, you know, be an impact in the community, show up what you can, do what you can, and that's all you can do. Because when it comes, because you look at who's got the control in the city of Millersville, it's the city manager. The city manager does the hiring, and then the council, and then the city manager is not an elected spot. It's a spot that the city council has to vote on to hire. And guess what? The mayor has no say so in that vote. I.e., FYI, the mayor has no say so in the city manager who they hire, right? Unless it becomes a tie. Now, if a tie, she got to vote, or he or she got to vote. But right now, mayor, they don't have no say so, right? So that's where we at now. And I've seen it back and forth. I've seen situations with Dax. I've seen with Ronnie. I've seen a lot of stuff, and I don't even really know Walter Reynolds, and I can't speak for why I don't even know him. I know Mary Copeland personally, and I think she's a wonderful person. I think she's doing what she can do with the tools that she got. The city manager holds all the keys to the cars in the city of Milledgeville, right? That's who holds all the keys to the car. And I see the community being divided because one person, Dax in particular, that's the situation I'm talking about. He campaigning for Walter Reynolds. Why? I don't know. He said he think he's a better suit. Is that not his? Is that not his right? I think it is. Just like Ronnie Andrews, that's his right for him to be for Mayor Copeland. But now they don't want to be they ain't friends no more. They ain't no. I don't think they might were never friend, but we falling out. I've seen other back and forth on posts about, oh, I don't want to be bothered. I don't deal with you if you side with them, you side with them. by the position that holds no power. Who and then they say, okay, well, they want to put him back in there so they can change the charter back. Well, who changed it in the first place? Did it, you know, AKA white man? Did he change it in the first place? We got to stop what we're doing. We always want to point and find fault in so many different directions. We need to look in the mirror. It's us. We got all the power. We got all the power in our hand. We control so much, man. It's us in the black community. You got to think about it. When it comes down to financial situations in this country, we're at the bottom of the list, near at the bottom or near the bottom. But when it comes down to buying non-essentials items in this country, we the first. And those facts, sometimes people don't like to hear that. They don't like to hear it, but it's the truth. How is that? They did a real number on us. And we divide we at each other throat, man. And I love the crib. And I love being because that small town feel it's something that I tell people all the time. If you can make it in Milledgeville, or if you've lived in Milledgeville for a long period of time, man, you can make it anywhere in the world because you have a strong moral system. You got a strong moral compass. We'll on my regard. Of course there's some bad apples. There's crazy stuff happening everywhere. Crazy stuff out here in Houston. They finding body like stuff happens, right? We have disparities throughout, but for the most part, man, when you come up with the moral compass that we were raised with in that little small town home field, man, it's almost like you're alien to everybody else in the world. You know what I mean? You think it's common. You think you're like, oh, you ain't speaking when you know how your parents taught you. You ain't speak. You speak when you come walk in the room. Now you do it now you do it without even thinking, right? Get out. In the world of people, man, people are different. People are weird. And I hate to see such good people let political things divide them. I say hate to see such rich heritage people, rich family, rich people, you know, let this stuff take them out of character. Let them go against their fellow brother for a color. It's almost like the equate. It's equated to the same thing. We look at these young cats when out here repping red or blue. It don't make sense, do it? Just think about it. At your ripe old age, would you go out and join a gang right now? Would you go join the blood gang? Would you go and join the Crip gang? Would you join GD? Would you be a Pyru at your age? Right now, go join. No. So why you let political lies deter you from your people? Like it doesn't, man. Like, and I think what it is because I was talking to a good friend of mine today, man. I was telling him politics is just like gambling when done right. You got to be able to take the emotions out of it. It's black and white. This. Either it is or it ain't. And the crazy thing about it is there there is you can't see there even like it for you there's nobody one there's no person last time I checked a few years ago it was 1.6 trillion in consumption, more money than most countries. Exactly. Same thing I just said. We spend more money than we got them. But we're at the bottom of the financial list, right? But we got to understand that, man. We we possess all we have to have the emotional intelligence to say, okay, I like this, but I don't like that. I look at politics like a buffet. You go to Golden Corral. You don't get everything in Golden Corral. You pick and choose. You go from each section. You go to the meat bar, get you whatever you want. You go to the vegetables, you go to your start, you get your desserts, get your salad, whatever. You don't get everything because you won't like everything. But somehow in politics, especially within the black community, we think it's all or nothing. It's all or nothing. And it shouldn't be like that because we're not a monolithic people. We're so different and unique in our own ways. That's why no person on earth has the same fingerprint. That's how you make all these people and you can't make a copy of ain't one copy of nobody. We're unique. We're different. We're gonna have different thoughts. We're gonna have different views. We're gonna have different viewpoints. But somehow in politics, especially within our community, they feel like you got to be all or nothing. Either you all with me or you all against me. But why can't it be? Why can't we coexist? Just like I said earlier, you got again, politics is like gambling. You got to take the emotions out of it. If you're gambling, if you out there, you went to Vegas and you playing with your money, you banking on emotions, you finna lose all your money. If you're deep into politics and it's all about how you feel and I don't like him, I just don't like him. Okay, tell me why. Or I don't like her. Why? Right? And of course, again, it's all emotional driven. But just because I don't like, just like I tell people all the time, your op is not my op, right? Just because, just because you like a person or you don't like a person and I like them, that don't mean I gotta dislike you. Some people try to pull you into that. People try to pull you into that. They'll tell you, okay, well, since you don't like that, since I'm beefing with that person, you need to beef with them too. You got me fucked up. I'm grown as hell. And people say that even in politics. Motherfuckers say, well, you voted for Trump. Fuck you. Don't call me no more to get out my life. Fuck you. How? You don't even know Trump. You don't even know whoever he ran from. If you go over Walter Reynolds, fuck you. Don't say nothing to my life. Like, why? If you're in dire straits and shit going and shit hit the fan, you need help. When that ambulance or whoever pull up, but you gonna say who you voted for. Hell no, you ain't gonna say who you voted for. You're gonna take the help. And it's so sad that we shoot each other down despite of and it can be anything. Motherfucker, counsel Christmas on your ass about politics. About a motherfucking a person of that's running for office that you gonna eventually pay for them with your goddamn hard earned money. Cut each other off. When at the end of the day, I would say politics is probably 10, 15, maybe even 20% of our problems. We got a whole nother 80. But we think politics is the first step. Politics is not the first step. It's not. Politics is not the first step. And we got to understand that, man, all we got is us. And as long as the divide and conquer, it works. Because we lack the emotional intelligence to say, you know what? I agree to disagree with him, but get what? We can do something else on this. But we willing to write each other off all together about some trick ass, that's what I call it, politics. And these motherfuckers show up from July to November and they gone. Just for you to do what? Be a part of that 1.6 trillion that we spend every year. Come the holiday season. They rile us up and then got them make us forget about it in November and December. We got to do better, and I know we can. We're too smart of a people. We're too intelligent of a people not to realize that we can agree to disagree. We can agree to disagree. It don't matter who you vote for. It don't matter who you call God. It don't none of that matter. But guess what? If you treat me with respect and I treat you with respect, and we can have the common courtesy or whatever, whatever. Now I ain't talking about these people that just yap on the internet. Oh, they pro Trump and they pro Biden or they this and that. I'm pro Republican. I ain't talking about them motherfuckers. Cause see, that's a whole bunch of nothing. I'm talking about regular people. I'm talking about people who may have a political view, but they don't got you can't shoot the man down because he feel like he want to go that way. Let him that don't mean and then you already know him. And a lot of times people change their whole concept about them based on they vote who they vote for. But you probably been dealing with them in some capacity before that, but then you found out they went the other way. You left them alone. That's why in sales, man, we don't talk about politics or no religion because you'll kill your deal. You won't make no money. You mess around and be on the wrong side of the stick talking about politics. And then guess what? At the end of the day, man, we the one got to live with one another. It's kind of like this. Um, these guys on the streets, these gang banging all that stuff, right? They beef with each other, try to kill each other on the street, and then they get shipped to prison, right? And they gotta be together. Because in prison ain't no, especially the federal level, ain't no gang. You Bloods and Crips, they together in a sense, because it's racially divided. And it's the same thing when you talk about how y'all go back and forth with one another, but then you go to work, y'all act like y'all got sent because they come with a check at the end of the week. Money has become our god. People would do some strange things for some change. You know what I mean? And even get along for 8 hours, even get along for 12 hours. But let them get out here where it's all about building and making a better community and about coming up with solutions and coming up with ideas you know what I mean, to be together. It's crickets. And I'm like, oh, I ain't got time for that. They ain't paying me no money. But you got children in the community. We got you judge a person by you judge a tree by the fruit that it bears. And we ain't producing that, and that doesn't go by that doesn't go for your children. You feel what I'm saying? That goes about how you like how it's just cooperative. How can you cooperate with anybody else if you let your emotions get filled with you about your opinions or views about a political figure? When this person here is right here and you don't know what you can possibly get because you've let politics cloud your judgment. Someone who not and don't let them be against you. And that we don't. I ain't gonna say everybody do. I want to say all, but me, I'm more concerned within my demographic of people because that's where I can coincide. And it hurts me more to see us have some of the most some of the most highly educated. We got at this point in life, we got the most education right now than any time in our history of people. We got the most money right now. Any time in the history of our people, and we got the most property and possessions of any time to anybody in our people. But we're the less unified of any time in history. We got the most resources, we got everything. But we let the mechanisms and the tools and the place, and it's all by design. If you guys haven't watched Jones Plantation, it's on Tubi. Go check it out. And it shows how they played the psyche on us that we felt like we were free. We felt like we made it. And we don't, man, we need each other. And we're never gonna break this cycle. We're never gonna get past the real triumphs that we have in the community, the real problems that we have in the community if we don't come together. If we allow politics and we allow let because at the end of the day, after y'all motherfuckers voted in November, that's it. Politics over with. Ain't nobody half the time we ain't going no council meeting, we ain't going no board of education meeting, we ain't going no, ain't nobody going no damn meetings. I got good friends who are in, I got good friends in Millersville. And ain't nobody going no goddamn, they ain't going no sitting, they ain't going no council meeting. They ain't going. Ain't nobody consistently going down there see what the hell going on. Only time they want to bring up a roar when they come around November, they get us all riled up. But the day-to-day operations of what's going on with the city of Millersville, the county of Baldwin County, or wherever town you at, you don't really know the board of education. You don't know what really going on to November, and that's what we do. We claim, and we got in this age of information, we ignorance at an all-time high because we become lazy, right? A lot of times people don't even know the story as far as people didn't even know the mayor didn't have no power until now. And it's been 20 some years. It's been 20 some years, and people just found out here recently that it's just a ceremonial position. And they was like, oh, I've been new. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, well, you've been new. But majority of the people, the exception is not the rule. And sometimes that's how we do. There are certain things that we lack as far as when it comes down to having empathy for our fellow people. We cut each other. We'll cut each other off quick, man. We'll save each other grace, man. When does it end? When do we understand that? Hey, man, all we got is each other. It's enough. And I'm talking about for us. It's hard being black. It's not an easy walk. If you got to your age, if you're on this live, you hear you. I'm pretty sure you know it hasn't been an easy road. It's been many challenges. Just based on how you look, and that's just one of the smaller parts of it, the other domino effect that comes behind it, right? But when are we going to say enough is enough to say, man, we got to break this cycle that we don't nobody want to be wrong, don't nobody want to listen, don't nobody want to be questioned. Dog, you can't ask a person a question nowadays. You can't, man. You might the wrong. I might just ask a question. Man, I asked a question in one of my groups the other day. Man, you would have thought I'd call somebody mama a bitch or something, man. Oh, how dare you question me? Like, damn, I just asked a damn question. You see what I'm saying? And most of the time, when it comes down to politics, you can't question it. No, no, why should I vote for them? Well, you shouldn't. We just be all over the place wired, man. When we should be trying to find commonality in what we can build at. We got more things alike than we do different. And probably the only thing we probably have a difference is probably is politics and religion. And we take those two things, those two intricate things of life, amongst all the plethora of things that we have going on, and we decide to die on that hill to say, "Well, fuck that motherfucker. I ain't dealing with him because he voted for that. He voted for that gal. I don't want to be bothered. We don't. He still same. Like I said, it go on both sides, and we shouldn't be like that, man. Right? Like we got to understand that it's all. I think a lot of times people be fear success, but people fear that it's gonna go too good. Right? I shout out to everybody who went to homecoming last night in the Ville. I saw it. It was great things, and I seen a little video today. You know what I mean? It always gonna be some issues somewhere. Not to say that it's just a bad, but guess what? If we could get what out of all the great things, the video getting all the attention this morning. Out of all the good shit that happened last night in Millersville, all the great parties, everybody had a good time. I know it was like two, three parties. I ain't seen nothing but great vibe, good stuff. But when you woke up this morning, goddamn Tiara, your ass, you going crazy. You going viral today, going as usual. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, man, it's just we seem to find we navigate to negativity. And I just wish we could. I want somebody. I want somebody to answer in the chat. We got some people in here. I want somebody to answer in the chat. Is it possible? Is it possible to vote differently and still work together? There's a poll on the side somewhere. I think there's a poll. Y'all make sure y'all tap into that poll. But is that possible? Is it possible to vote differently and still work together? Right? Say if you is it? Let me ask you this: could you marry somebody that voted on the opposite way that you did? Somebody answer in the chat. Don't be afraid. I know some people here. Y'all can jump in the chat. You ain't got you just drop in the chat. Could you marry somebody, or could you build relationships with somebody? Could you build partnership businesses? Could you build with somebody even though you vote differently? All right. Bob Johnson said, "Hell yeah, most definitely." And I get it. But I'm just trying to find out how we get to a point where politics overrides humanity, especially within each other. You know, say it loud. I'm black and the proud. Like, regardless of what, when voting is used for the division, I totally agree for you. Like the political, it keeps us at each other throat. It keeps us at each other throat. And I wish I could bring some of you guys up here because I would love to hear your viewpoints. Let's see. I don't know if I know how to do that, but nonetheless, man, I want you guys to understand that we as a people, man, we could do so much more if we came together, man. If we set aside our differences, if we stop again, the ballot box, the name is close your curtain. That ballot box, ever since I remember going to vote with my grandmother over the National Guard back in the day, and they had a big old curtain. They used to have a big lever in there. She let me pull that lever. You feel what I'm saying? But they had a big curtain. And I'm like, Grandma, I can't pull it. She said, they ain't gonna know. I was too young. I said, I ain't old enough. She said, they ain't gonna know pull it. Cause get why? The curtain closed. You feel what I'm saying? We pull that curtain, we come back out, we going on out that door, get our sticker. And get what? Ain't nobody said who you voted for. I used to ride with her and me and Miss Olivia. God bless her dead. Miss Al Willis, me and my grandma, we go vote. And they ain't talk about no voting. They ain't say that. They ain't discuss. It wasn't. They did they civic duty and they went on by their business because they knew they had things to do. They got children to raise. They got grandchildren to see about. They got a life to live. But I think we surrounded ourselves with choosing a side. We surrounded ourselves with being a part of a gang, a cult. It get hectic, and I see it so often. I know a lot of y'all do, but I'm just trying to see where does it end? Where do we find a way to how do we find a way to say the hell with all that? Like, okay, if you want to vote that way, fine. Let's do like even this group here, close your curtain, cast your ballot, love that neighbor. I want to. We're gonna start doing. We're gonna have some type of interactive event. I don't. Facebook don't give you the way that we have a pool. Maybe do a Zoom. I'm gonna everybody that's here. I'm gonna have. I got all the data of everybody here. If you can, if you want to be a part of just building a group or building some time to where we can brainstorm, get great ideas, come together because at the end of the day, man, I'd be glad when Thanksgiving get here. I'm just put it like that. Because we so much better. We're more better of a people than we allow this situation to get us. We allow these politics to pull us all in a kind of way, get us all heated, feels stop watching that goddamn news. Oh, you seen this, you seen that. I don't even know if the government still shut down. They say the government shut down. I can't tell. Hell, in my eye, the government been shut down all my life. I ain't seen what they did. I ain't seen they did nothing with Barrett today. I felt like they weren't shut down. You know what I mean? And that's why I just don't understand why we allow politics to define who we are, why we allow politics to sway us throughout the day, why we allow politics to let us. And it's like we seek out opposition sometimes. We seek out a mark. We're gonna go ride on somebody. As in we're gonna find something like me, I see a lot of stuff that I don't agree with. And then a lot of time it be from some people that I like, some good friends. But I ain't finna go in there and shoot down just because. And I'm my dog. It be so many times I type in there, and then I said, "No, hit that X up there, that top. I ain't finna type that because if I ain't got, I just don't understand why we just can't build with each other. Like, and if you don't want to be bought nobody, that's cool. But the politics has made us even more divided. People say politics was used to bring us together, but I can't tell. It seems like this time of year we're always divided. And I wish we could just eliminate it. I wish we could just get back to the old way of things where we govern ourselves. Where that's what like well your neighbors could chastise, not just beat your children at, but my neighbor, you get your ass whooped, especially you doing something you ain't got no business doing. But you do that now. You can't do none of that, you know. And it's a lot of individuality going on. It's a lot of me. And I get that because at the end of the day, this world has become that. This world has made us that way. The world I was telling a good friend of mine today, man. There's only one thing that you know in this life when you're born, and that's how to suck a titty. That's it. Everything else you're taught. Everything else they taught you how to do it. Only thing that you come in this world knowing how to do is that's it. Everything else they gave that you were taught to by your parents, society, school, whatever. And this politics stuff and think you got to down this hill and I get it. It's intricate for a lot of reasons, but not at the demise or at the expense of your fellow man. I don't get it. Maybe I'm crazy, man. Maybe I'm the only motherfucker with some sense around here that understand that we need each other. And I think we try to point out flaws and point and pick at each other. I don't care. I don't care how you feel. I don't care if you feel that way. Cool. As long as they don't got them, as long as they don't get up here on my plate, I'm fine. I see a lot of people say, well, look, I see Trump supporters. Look, y'all did what y'all voted for. So you're gonna vote, all right, it don't matter who they voted for, you can't know there's nobody can determine what a person gonna do. You don't know. But it's always every 4 years, whoever in office. If Kamala Harris had a won, or Kamala Harris, excuse me, however you say it, if she had a won, the Republican fan base, should I say, they would have had everything to say about her. Being that Trump won, now the Democrat, and it wish wash every year, no matter what. They can't do no right, they can't do no wrong. Then you hear the age old story that it take 4 years to undo what the other one do, and we hear them fighting amongst each other while they sitting back getting a lifetime check and lifetime insurance. We sit here thinking we fighting for a worthy cause while they sitting back getting a lifetime security where they ain't got to worry about nobody bothering them. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we fall for it, man. We fall for it, and we go back and forth with each other. We do each other all at the expense of what? And we wonder why we have the disparities we have. And it's sickening, man. I really wish that we could just get rid of politics. People act like it's so important. People act like it's the end all be all. I think it caused more dysfunction and more division than anything. And it's sad, and because I don't like to see, a lot of my, I don't like to see negative stuff on my timeline. I X that shit out because I don't want to see it. And then here it is this time of year, political season, and you see it. And good people getting out of character because of a political party or political nominee. And I don't understand it, man. I think it's the fact that the emotional intelligence is not there. People don't understand how to take the emotions out of it. If you want to vote for somebody, just vote for somebody. I ain't gotta give no explanation. I ain't gotta justify it. I ain't gotta, you know what I mean? And I ain't gotta shoot down your choice just because I chose otherwise. And I don't understand. I just for the life of me, I don't understand why we do that. And because we watch them do it. We turn into the politicians that we watch. We watch them go back and forth with each other and this. And so now we go back and forth. Same thing with basketball. Are you not entertained? They got us, man. They got us hook, line, and sinker, and we don't see it because it's all by design. They started teaching us at 4 years old how to get in line, and we've been in line ever since. And we think we can't make it. We think we can't make it without their structure, without their leadership, without their guidance. The motherfucker been shut down. If the government still shut down, they've been shut down just the motherfucker been working just fine for me. But they ain't stopped taking them taxes out though. They ain't stopped taking that. The government ain't that, but the IRS still damn working. But that let you know right there, the IRS ain't even part of government. You know, yeah, rigged sports. I told somebody about it, man. I gotta watch the game. Hey, man, I ain't watching no sports. I still I like highlights. I'm a YouTube guy. I go watch the highlight. I just don't have 2 hours to sit down and watch. I glance it probably be on. It muted over there now. It ain't fun no more. It ain't fun to me no more. And I don't know. I guess sometimes we outgrow things and we start seeing things for what they are. And sometimes it be like, is it even worth it? Is it even worth having this conversation? And it gets frustrating because I want the best for everybody. I'm Mr. Be Great today for a reason. I really mean it. I really live this life within myself. I really have these positive. I have to fight away negative thoughts. I have to make sure I state myself in the right headspace. And it's an everyday grind. It's an everyday practice. But when I see the crib going through changes about a position that holds little to very little to no power, it don't make sense, man. And I think we can exude that energy in a lot more places. Um, like the district too down there. The city council. Again, the city council is where all the power is right now as we speak. That's where the power is, and they got to me. And I misspoke on one of my posts. I didn't know Miss Renfro and Miss Solomon was in the same district. I had no clue. I had no idea of that. Um, but yeah, that's important. That's big. You know. But either way go, I think with them two running, I think we got two sisters going in there. Somebody gonna get in there. At least you know, we can't lose that. But I really want, I really wish there was some ways, some conflict resolutions. Simmons, Simmons, gotcha. But I really wish there was a way to resolve this stuff, man. And well, we can just, I know we can, because I really if we stop focusing on politics. Not in the sense that you don't vote or you don't, be informed about what's going on, but it's not a sporting event, but we treat it like sports. We treat it like we fans on the sideline. I'm going for them. That's my team. He the best. It's like a MJ LeBron debate or Blood versus Crip. And I know it happens amongst other demographics, but I can only speak from what I see. From what I see is us. You know what I mean? Miss Simmons and Miss Solomon. Okay. Arlene. But I thought maybe it is Sim, but I don't know why I always call her Renfro. That's what her name is. Sim. I always call her Renfro because she used to dance back in the day when I remember her ball on high pelt rather her Marco Renfro and God bless the dead Marco Renfro and his brother Sean. They partied, man. They used to have. I was probably a freshman in high school back then. But yeah. So just understanding how we can manage these emotions and eliminate the emotions out of the equation, man. Like I say, man, cast your ballot. Close your curtain, cast your ballot, and love thy neighbor. Like it shouldn't be, it just like it's like you don't talk about intimate how your intimacy in your bedroom. Like you go outside, you co-mingle with people. You're not talking about your intimacy with your significant other. The people. There's some things you keep to yourself. There's a lot of stuff you keep to yourself. You can't come out here and just tell everybody all your business, right? Voting should be the same way. Who cares? That's why it's a blind ballot. Like that's why your name ain't on there. You know what I mean? Your name is as far as your registered voter, but that's why it's not. That's why they got a curtain now. You close that curtain, cast your ballot, and go live. And still, I just don't get it, man. I just don't understand why we got to be at all. It's a lot of stuff going on, right? And I really hope and pray that we can get some out of this, despite it all, man. Because Politics got us by the balls, man. And we get into these dialogues with people that we know we don't agree with to justify what, you know. And it's sad, man. Like I said, I can understand if you talking to a person way across the country you don't know. I guess that's even worse. But when you start having these back and forth with people that you know, you start going into these dialogue with people that you know that it uh-oh, uh-oh. I done went back and lost it. Oh, I fucked around and ended my life. Oh well, fuck. Oh well, let me end this one too.